Hey, Luke here with catsandcarp.com, and it's a windy, cold fall day, and I'm going to show you how to catch catfish. We're having a great time. I'm out here with my lovely wife, celebrating my birthday and catching some late fall catfish. Look at that porker. All right, we'll show you how we're doing it. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, put it on, baby.
It's all going up.
Ooh. Aha! Big school of shad right there, right there. Some catfish. The water temperature has dropped 4 degrees in 12 hours. Big cold front. It was 80 degrees just like yesterday. Now it's 50s.
And really windy.
And very windy. Look at that. Big school of shad. I think I'm gonna hit this. It's too huge. Go. You can catch some huge catfish in the fall, and if you want to catch big catfish, live bait is a great choice. Now, shad are one of my favorite baits in the fall. They're easy to catch because they start to school up, and so one throw of the cast net, you get 20 fish, all the bait I need for a full day of fishing with 6 rods. And not only can you catch them readily, they stay alive a lot easier in the live well in the cold weather. Something about the cold water holds oxygen better and just helps the shad stay alive better in the live well, so you don't lose nearly as many as you do in the summertime. Prior to this day, we'd had really warm fall weather, and then all of a sudden this low pressure system comes in with a rush, and we have high winds, the temperature drops through the floor, and it really threw the catfish off their pattern. So you have to really try a bunch of different spots and try to really get out there and see where the catfish have moved off to. When the temperature drops and the wind kicks up, I tend to fish deeper than I do in good warm weather. Deep channels and steep banks are places that I target in weather like this. Okay, let me show you my gear here. I've got the Whisker Seeker spinning rod, one piece. Really like these rods. They've been really good to me, and I've caught some great fish on them. I've got the Okuma Trios 55S spinning reel, a nice reel with good drag on it, and I've got a 3-ounce lead on a slider. I've got about 12 inches of 40-pound mono, and then I've got a 10-aught Mustad circle hook. Okay, this spot I've chosen is about 23 feet of water, and it's a pretty decent spot. There's a lot of structure nearby, a lot of bait fish nearby, but there's tons of exposed wind, and the wind was howling. The weather forecast said the gusts were up to 40 miles per hour. So I started off using my normal anchor method. I threw a 28-pound anchor off the front, then backed up the boat into the wind, then threw a 28-pound anchor off the back, and then I tightened up both ropes and strung the boat between them like a hammock. This is a real stable way to anchor up the boat, but the wind drugged me no problem. This little 13-foot boat drugged that 28-pound anchor like nothing. So instead, I pulled up anchor, I repositioned the boat, and this time I threw both anchors off the windward side of the boat, off the back. One as far to the right as possible and one as far to the left as possible. Now, the benefit of this is I now have 56 pounds of anchor holding the boat down. The bad thing is it's not as stable, so the boat swings side from side in the shifting wind a whole lot more, and it bounces around a bunch, which wreaks havoc with your rigs. Speaking of rigs, let me show you what I'm doing here. I'm rigging up the live bait, just hooking it through the back right behind the dorsal fin with a 10-aught circle hook. Nice and alive. That's exactly how you want it. Now, because I've got both anchors off the back, the front end of the boat's got no snags, and so I'm free to cast off the front. When you're rocking back and forth like this, you don't want to cast off in a 360-degree pattern or off to the sides. You want everything off the nose of the boat. And this wind was ferocious. It was just knocking stuff around. I couldn't keep my net up in the rod holders. But the biggest problem was that the wind made the boat rock left to right and put a lot of slack in the line, so it was really hard to detect when fish were biting, but not impossible. Look at that! Feels like a decent fish. This might be a flathead. Not too bad. As the sun started to set, the temperature dropped, so I got Becca plenty of these little hand warmers to try to keep her warm. It was in the low 40s by the time it got dark, and the wind was gusting between 20 to 40 miles per hour, so it was plenty cold. I got to keep my lady warm, but the wind made things so beastly. It was just really hard to detect bites, and I kept losing lots of bait. So I pulled up anchor and just around sunset and went to another spot which I hoped was a little bit more sheltered from the wind. But most importantly, what I also had at this spot was a log sticking up. So I threw my anchor off the front and the back and then tied the boat up to this log. And tying it up to that log gave me just enough to be able to keep the boat in one place and keep it steady enough to be able to detect bites. And it didn't take long. Oh, nice channel cat. Lean, mean channel cat. Oh, look! It is catfish boogers! Yeah, oh, they like to wrap up in that. I get it, keep him out of that log, keep him out of that log.
Great.
Oh, stay out of that log for me. Come on, let's be a team player. Chunky monkey.
Yeah, nice.
There we go.
Oh.
It is porker.
What is it?
It's a hefty 27.
My absolute favorite type of fishing is going fishing with my wife, and I just had an absolute ball spending some time, just me and her, getting away from the kids, spending time together and doing something I love. And if you love these videos, check out some of our other great videos, including how to catch catfish in the wintertime and how to catch, clean, and cook catfish with these 4 great catfish recipes. If you like what you see, don't forget to click subscribe. Thanks for watching.